Today in the Fresh Run Club, I'm running 4 miles in the Nike Invincible 2s and 4 miles in the Invincible 3s. Welcome back to the Fresh Run Club. So for today's video, I am doing a direct comparison between the Nike Invincible 2s and the brand new Nike Invincible 3s. I'm out here on the Detroit River Walk, and my plan is to run 4 miles in the Invincible 2s, which I'm running in those right now. And then I'm gonna go back to my car, switch my shoes into the Invincible 3s, and then run 4 miles for a truly direct comparison. So side note, I just want to appreciate the beauty of the river walk at sunrise. That is the Detroit River to my right, Canada across the river, and then Detroit to the left. This is by far my favorite place to run in Metro Detroit. So really this video is about the Invincible 3s, just to see like how do they compare to the 2s. But let's start with the 2s. They are Nike's ultra cushioned shoe. You have a one-piece outsole that sits on a gigantic chunk of ZoomX foam, which is Nike's like their best foam. It's comfy. I absolutely love the Invincible 2s, which is why I was so curious to try the 3s to see how they compare. So there's two things I love about the Invincible 2s. One is that foam, that cushioning. It's like running on a cloud. It's great for me when I'm running super long distances. My feet don't hurt. I don't even notice it. I actually ran a marathon in these. That's how good these shoes are. I love the Invincible 2s. The other thing I really like about the shoe is the way it's shaped. It almost feels like it's propelling you forward, and I've done this in every review of the shoe I've made, but it feels like you're kind of propelled forward. There's no carbon fiber plate in it. I think for most people these are an easy run shoe, you know, long distances. Probably not a racing shoe, but like I said, I ran a marathon in these and I got my PR. So as you can tell, I'm a huge fan of the Invincible 2s, and it's why my expectations are so high for the Invincible 3s, and why I think it's really important to do this direct comparison video, because spoiler alert, there's a little bit of a difference between the two shoes. So I'm gonna wrap up this 4 mile segment. I'm gonna go back to my car, switch shoes, and we will see how they really perform head to head. Also worth mentioning, I am running easy pace, so 9-10 minute mile range, which I think is what these shoes are for. This isn't about how fast they can go, it's about how they hold up on a longer, it's only 4 miles, but a longer-ish run. All right, 4 miles down in the Invincible 2s. Time to switch shoes and then go for 4 more miles. One thing to note, short shoelaces. That's kind of annoying. Let's get this going. All right, so I am back on the road in the Invincible 3s, but I'm here to figure out how these compare to the Invincible 2s. So right off the bat, let's address the main issue that people seem to have with these shoes, and that's the heel slip. I talked about this in my initial review, but it is a thing. It's just not that big of a deal for me. I just relace my shoes. Now, some people are using the runner's knot. I just use all the eyelets, so it's a little more snug against my ankle. I don't love how it feels, but there's no heel slip after I made that adjustment. So here's the deal. I've been running in the Invincible 3s for about 2 miles now, and they're not horrible, okay? There are definitely similarities between the original Invincibles. There's definitely a lot of ZoomX foam under your foot, and you can absolutely feel that. However, one of the things I have noticed is it feels a little more firm, and that was my suspicion with my initial review, and I think it's true. It feels more like my foot is slapping the ground as opposed to the Invincible 2, which kind of like is squishy on the ground, bounces off the ground a little bit. This is a little more firm. So I would say this is actually a little bit of a faster shoe than the first two Invincibles, and it sacrifices a little bit of that cushioning, that plush feel, for some speed. Now I have read that there is a new Strobel, which is kind of like a plate, not a carbon fiber plate, but a plate inside the shoe that makes it a little firmer. I haven't cut mine in half because I don't want to spend $180 just to saw a pair of shoes in half, but I have heard that. I've heard that the ZoomX foam is a little bit denser, a little bit thicker. It's just a little bit of a different shoe. Now, is this a bad thing? Yes and no. I loved that plush, soft, hyper cushioned feel, and that's not quite there anymore. So for me, that's not a good thing. I loved the hyper cushioned feel, but if you ran in the Invincible 2s and you think, hey, I wish these were a little bit faster, maybe a little bit firmer, I could do maybe more tempo work, you actually might really like these. And I think they're not a bad shoe. They've gotten kind of a little bit of a bad rap. They're just different than the Invincible 2s. Now, I've run like 1,500 miles in the Invincible 1s and 2s, so I think I'm a little more sensitive to some of those changes. But if you've never run in an Invincible before, check out the Invincible 3. I think either shoe would serve you well. The $1 million question, or should I say the $180 question, is, should you get the Invincible 2s or the Invincible 3s? And this is probably what the crux of the whole video is. I would say this: if you really want the latest and greatest shoe, if you want a shoe that's going to perform just a little bit better at faster paces, check out the Invincible 3. Now, if you're not super picky, or if you really like the Invincible 2s, there are tons of Invincible 2s on sale right now that you can get for way cheaper than the Invincible 3s. Again, don't get me wrong, the Invincible 3 is a great shoe, but for me, I think that price jump is a little too steep when the Invincible 2s are on sale everywhere. Plus, I kind of want to try out some other stuff. Asics, New Balance, they all have some hyper cushion shoes that I want to try, and the Invincible 3 is not really going to keep me loyal to the Invincible line moving forward. So my recommendation, look for deals. I really like the Invincible 2. The Invincible 3 is different. I don't think it's better. I'm excited to try some different brands' shoes. So that's a video for today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you a diehard Invincible 3 fan that is just furious that I recommended the Invincible 2s over these? Have you run in both? Have you run in either? Leave a comment, ask a question. I am happy to answer anything below. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you soon. All right, got the thumbnail. Man, look at this. Oh, this is so nice. I just want to sit up here and watch the sun, but I got to run 8 miles because that's the sacrifice I make for the people, which are you, the viewers like you.